Is my screen visible now? And the thing is, like, when I am executing the code without using the actions, so these are the actions I commented. So when I'm using executing the code without actions, the data is displaying in the Fiori preview. So this is the case, and
wait, also you navigate once.
okay.
Yeah, fine, come back.
And when I use these actions, okay, I will show. I haven't written any code in that, but
Wait, use action, no? You mentioned it, that's okay. Go to behavior definition also. Let me see how the action is.
so these are the two actions.
Okay, activate first this behavior definition once.
Okay. Let me check. Let me check one thing. Yes.
Okay.
Travel.
So go to behavior pool. Go to behavior pool class also.
Behavior pool class.
Behavior implementation.
You
You should go to local tabs. There are the show me that methods.
So these are the methods for accept to travel.
Accept to travel to.
Yeah, even even like in here also I declared the same thing. Accept travel to use action. Accept travel to.
In the behavior definition also.
In the behavior definition too. Accept travel to.
Okay. Okay.
So I declared in this way. Like the thing is, like when I am uncommenting in this ZC, I mean in behavior projection, and after I'm
activate activate the behavior pool class also once. Activate it once. Right. And you activate the projection view also. Yeah, CDS projection view.
Okay.
Use action. Consumption view. Not travel.
So down in this kind.
No. Sorry, behavior projection. Behavior. Sorry, behavior projection.
Okay.
Not to CDS. Behavior projection. Sorry.
Yeah, this is a behavior.
Activate it. Now go to your UI application and refresh.
So in this case, like when I'm uncommenting, it is not displaying the Fiori app.
Nothing is loading here.
Yeah, nothing is loading.
Is it where you are getting stuck up now?
Yeah, somewhere I don't know.
Got it. It is validating that instance authorization. So, okay. So you have added that metadata extensions also, right? And the UI output.
Yeah, metadata extensions.
Transaction accepted travel. No problem. No
Metadata.
problem. Just leave it up.
Okay.
Go to that behavioral pool class.
Mm-hmm.
Go to behavior definition. Persistent table. Authorization master. Instance authorization master is also maintained.
These are my database
Comment.
tables.
You just comment that authorization master once. Authorization
Okay.
master instance. You just comment that is it showing warnings. Yeah. Remove. Mandatory.
Yeah.
Or do one thing. Keep it. Comment it.
Okay.
Comment it. And you comment that about strict line also. Just comment once. What is the warning it is showing?
Behavior definition should be flagged as strict.
That's okay. Activate it once.
Okay. Activation failed with errors.
Come down.
ZI
Booking
booking does not have a. Okay.
authorization master. You need to comment in the below also.
Okay.
The booking and it in the just in the behavior definition. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Go down. Go to booking. Here also just comment it. Activate it once. Now refresh your application.
Syntax error. Let's see travel projection behavior definition.
Understood. We'll fix that. So just end of the session, you share me your screen. To bring back that authorizations and enable that restricted to also.
Okay.
Yeah. It is basically a conflict in the activation only. We will reactivate all of them together. It will work. You go to your behavior definition and enable that strict and bring back that authorization master in both travel and whatever we commented, you remove them.
So should I stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing.
Okay.
So in our unmanaged scenario application, I started writing the code for remaining methods also. One second, let me share. So I started writing the code for the remaining methods also, team, in our application. Let me. As we implemented for create method, remaining methods also I started working on. I will write that code so that we can save some time, and entire unmanaged application also we will test it once. So I will explain that code. I will make you walk through that code as well after that. But by the way, did you create up to this create method? Have you completed a session? We will talk about one interesting topic. Unmanaged scenario I will continue after I complete the code for all the other methods also, remaining pending methods also. I will just show you the entire end-to-end application execution at once, and also will share you the code for create or update to delete, create by association, read by association for everything, and for all the methods, whatever generated in our behavior definition, we'll share you that entire code piece for the unmanaged scenario developments. Even in your SAP tables, in your SAP system also, in your regular SAP sandbox system, any access you have, you just to try to create one, your own table, one simple employee table with 4 or 5 fields: employee ID, employee name, designation, city, and basic. Enough. Only 4 or 5 fields, very comfortable fields. And you create one employee table like that, and you create another table like each employee is taking some leaves. So on which date he has taken a leave, and what is the reason? Like same employee ID will take same employee may take multiple leaves. So employee ID and the leave date both should be the primary key for running the combination. And leave date, leave reason, manager name, and the leave status. Is it approved or rejected? Something like that. So 2 tables. Just to create some 2 simple tables with 4 to 5 columns each, and you can try to build one unmanaged scenario on that application as well, on those tables as well, without managed way. So that, of course, there also you won't expect any function modules available, but still you write the code for a create or update or delete and create by association, read by association. You can write the code for all the methods in the unmanaged way, so that you will come to know, you can experience how do you develop the code for executing all these operations on some of your G tables as well. You can take up some kind of a mini projects like that, and you can start thinking, developing the code for all the required operations. And we will talk about some aspects on SAP Fiori. Why? Because at the end of the day, whatever applications we are developing, or no matter what, whether it is a transactional application, a read application, and also how that application is developed is as it is a module pull program, or a RAP application, or a CAP application, or a WebDintro application. Irrespective of that, all these applications finally we are consolidating and presenting through Fiori user interface. Agree? So right now, this application, whatever we are developing in managed way or in unmanaged way, basically it is a web application. When you are seeing the preview, when you are looking at the preview, it is showing that how that application works, how that application looks. But how are you providing the access to that application to the end users? And do you know, nowadays, all the end users are accessing their applications from only one interface, that is called SAP Fiori. Anyone of you had any idea, guys, what is SAP Fiori? Share me something about SAP Fiori, or whatever you know.
It is a
So the
front-end
question is, what is SAP Fiori?
It is a front-end framework of SAP.
Mm-hmm. Mm. How it works? Okay, front-end framework of SAP. Absolutely, the very rightly said. Can you elaborate that more in practical way. Just to let me know, let me try to understand, not like a definition, but practically from end user perspective. For example, you think I'm end user, like a customer side. I don't know what is SAP Fiori or something like that. So in the project call, I asked you like, hey, morning in the meeting I heard called SAP Fiori. So what is that? Framework and all these things we may not able to understand. In a generic words, in a generic way, we can be in a position to explain him, make him understand what is SAP Fiori. Can someone of you say that, please?
Yes, SAP Fury basically used to consume the backend ABAP data and represent in web format.
Okay. So, has any one of you learned SAP Fiori before? Is it a programming language? Is it a database? Or is it a application to run? Or is it a laptop name? What is that? Is it a browser kind of thing which we need to install in our system? So I'm asking from the practical perspective, what is that?
Basically, used to consume the backend data. Suppose we have created the core data services, so Fury application will be consume that and represent that data in a front end user. There is a JavaScript coding is used for.
Right. Then where is Fiori? Okay, JavaScript you are saying, backend OData service you are saying, and consuming you are saying. Then among all of them, OData is there as a service. So again, front end you are saying, where is Fiori in that scenario, in that picture? Yeah, Alpesh.
A user profiling was done. User capabilities were identified. The user behavior patterns as well.
Anything else, Tim? Any other comments from anybody else?
Theory is a business application, we can say, or a tool to develop the front end applications.
To develop front end applications. What do you mean for front end applications?
It is a way how the user interacts with the SAP application.
Right. See, all of you are ABAP guys. Let me ask you like this. We can develop some module programs, right? Screen programs. Screen 9000, Screen 9001, some 2 screens we can develop. So on the screens, some input fields, buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons, everything you can place. And from one screen to another screen, click on back button or click on next button to navigate. You can do something, you can write something. Finally, to post the data into backend, so not even backend, to post the data into tables, we will write some queries or statements also. Finally, one application is completed. For that application, we will provide a T code. That T code, we will share it with users. And whenever user run the T code, that application will open in his SAP GUI. So that is a application. Application he is accessing from SAP GUI. That application can be opened only in SAP GUI because that application is developed by using module pull program, ABAP controls. ABAP controls module pull program applications, nothing but they can be opened only from SAP GUI. SAP GUI can able to interpret the controls and can able to show the screen. That is how our SAP transactions are working. VR01, MM01, right? ME21, whichever transaction codes you are entering, they're all the transaction codes to easy remember about one particular program, about one particular application program you develop, which is a module program. And when you run the T code, that application is running, the screens are coming, user is happy, is entering the data on the screens, and finally he is clicking on save button, and the data is getting saved in the tables. So that is how a new purchase order is getting created, new sales order is getting created. Things are working fine. There is no hurry worry about all this new things to bother about. The world was so happy that times, but SAP users were also quite happy. Developers also were quite happy. But what actually made us, but what actually made us to talk about SAP Fiori, to bring about SAP Fiori. Even before SAP Fiori world came into this world, we were happy with SAP applications. SAP applications we were executing, we were creating all transactions, posting data, data is getting saved in the tables, and everything was there. Then what is the advantage? What is the difference this particular concept is bringing up? Can somebody say some lines on that?
Uniform output or uniform screens?
What does that mean for does SAP screens not looking uniform? Your purchase order, your sales order, your delivery, your inquiry, those your invoice posting, those are not looking uniform or what?
I mean, that is limited to the, your logon pad or NWPC, but, the uniform in the sense the user can also be able to open in the, the like browser.
Exactly. So that is coming up. So we should be able to visualize the world. We should be able to visualize the situations before Fiori and after Fiori kind of things. Let me show one thing here. Mm, right. See, no matter what, which version you are currently using, SAP ECC, S4 HANA, S4 HANA 2020, 2021, 1990s, 2000, 2010s, 2020s. So, over these decades, SAP products means mostly they are ABAP-based developments, module applications. So, users will need to install this SAP GUI in their individual machines. From this SAP GUI, this is not only for entering, but also to open the SAP screens. SAP applications can be opened only by having this application. This is not only we are using for connecting to one server, but also to render that applications and execute them. So here we can go to different transaction codes, and my applications are getting open. So here I can create a purchase order, all these screens, all these elements, buttons, icons, designs, everything is done like multiple tabs, tab controls are there. In each tab, again, various elements are appearing. This is entirely made on ABAP controls. This is not about HTML program, HTML applications, purely ABAP controls. This kind of applications I can open only from SAP GUI. But over the period of time, mostly in the 2000, early 2000s, there were the world was actually moving towards web, internet based, and there were some technologies available by that time in the market, which were very famous for developing web applications. That means web based user interface. So the end user can able to open that application being anywhere in the world. Just all together he needs a browser. Of course, browser will be definitely there in every operating system. So even if I go to a different location in that system, in that at that place, I found a system, but in that system, if there is no SAP GUI installed, then I cannot connect to my server. I cannot open anything without having SAP GUI. But if I can able to access the same application over the browser, right, then my job will be done quite comfortably. I can create a purchase order. I can urgently approve the pending orders. Anything, any task I can able to do. But the challenge is that applications, those SAP applications cannot be opened from browser. That was the time SAP thought of, why don't we introduce web application developments? Why can't we develop? Why don't we develop our applications as web applications? So that times there were some famous technologies available in the market about web developments was JSPs, Java Server Pages. So server page, that was a very busy word at the times. And another framework, another technology was there, ASPs, Active Server Pages. So these were there. Just let me highlight some points here for your quick note. That will make this. Okay. So ABAP is basically developing only modulable programs. But that time there was a mechanism was there called JSP. So JSP, by using JSP technology, a lot of people are developing web-based applications. So JSP is basically the Java language. It is one of the concepts of Java. You might hear about servlets and JSPs, but right now we have even much more advanced frameworks available, like React and other things for developing Springs or Reacts, etc., for developing even more sophisticated applications. But we use it to learn and work on that concepts called servlets, JSPs, etc. So Java with the HTML controls is basically the programming style we use it to learn. And another technology was also there, ASPs. So this is nothing but .NET coding, Visual Basic plus HTML controls if you use. So that is actually the output of ASP products. So people playing with these technologies like anything, and they were so excited to access applications. Then SAP also realized, why don't we enhance our programming so that we can also develop web applications? What is the purpose? Because when the application is made as a web application, it can be opened from any browser from anywhere in the world. So that was the time SAP also included web server. They have introduced one web server within their application server. Until that time, we have actually in SAP we have only application server until that time for running ABAP applications. But they have added a web server also separately, plus regular application server is there. So first their internal framework, their internal engines should get extended, right? Because any web application, if you wanted to run, we need to have a web server internally. So this is actually called WAS, Web Application Server. That was the time Web Application Server 6.0 launched in the year 2004. The same thing we started calling like NetWeaver also. That was the time. So they upgraded their internal core engine. Until that time, their platform was only application server. But that application server first extended with web server features also. So web server means where you will basically deploy all your web related applications from HTTP protocol from the browser. When a browser send a HTTP request, it can be listened. That request can be received by only web server. Application server cannot. Application server can access the request and process the request only from coming from GUI. But any request coming from browser, the first request should goes to a web server. So, but SAP doesn't have a web server in their internal engine totally. Their entire server they don't have. So they added that. And from there on, that web server got extended with many, many things. And by the way, by adding this thing, what was the technology they developed? That is actually called BSP, Business Server Pages. So we will use ABAP coding, plus we do use HTML controls for the designing of the application. So SAP also, just to follow the same trend, they also named it like that only. Business server pages, Java server pages, active server pages. Because server pages was a known, very, very, well, I mean, some famous word about that particular technology to represent. SAP also named it like that. So I worked for around, I remembered in 2007 and 8 time, I worked for 2 projects on BSPs by developing BSP applications. Still it is there, you can see that. If you go to your applications, SAP system, if you go to SC80.
Hey, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training? That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
So here you can develop program, function group, function modules, all these things. Right? You come here, BSP application. So I can develop a new BSP application here. Z BSP underscore demo1. I can develop one new application here, and I can start writing HTML controls and events here in your module program, right? My first BSP. In your module program, what were the events you have? Process before output, process after input, process on value request, process on help request, flow logic controls, right? Similarly, here also, once the BSP application created, we can create some views within that. You can create some pages, then controller, MVC pattern, and you will write the coding and events. You have to learn that. Then finally, your application will be ready. Once the application is ready, you can create a transaction code. The moment you enter the transaction code, that application will not open in the SAP GUI. That application will go and launch it in the browser because that application has been developed as a BSP application. But the drawback is a lot of things we need to write the code. Even HTML controls also we have to write with the code based on. Writing all the controls, all the coding is very difficult for a developer, right? So SAP over the period of time, what they did is they wanted to even simplify things by automating a lot of things. So by using the same concept, but like module programs, text boxes, labels, input fields, all these things we can drag and drop. You don't need to write any HTML coding. Only business logic coding, if you write, that is enough. All the screen controls, screen elements, simply you can use drag and drop. But in BSP applications, it's not like that. You only have to write HTML coding also, HTML tags also here in this model. So then to simplify that, they came up with a concept called WebDynpro ABAP. So WebDynpro ABAP is the next step in SAP journey about developing web applications again the same thing, web applications only. So then now you can develop a application as a web application either by using BSP or by using WebDynpro ABAP framework. Which one do you use? Absolutely, we will go with WebDynpro ABAP because it is quite easy and a lot of features inside. So I can go for WebDynpro component. I can create a new component here. I can create a VI here also, MVC pattern. some drag and drop. Left hand side, you will get some controls. You will simply drag and drop them. Your entire view, your entire page will get prepared. But right now, you are getting that Fiori page, right? In our travel application. Similarly, same like that. For help, search help, stable controls. All these things you can drag and drop. Navigations, inbound plugs, outbound plugs. Then you can develop. So almost since, as I remember, since 2010 to 2015 till 2015-16, it played a significant role. It used widely for a lot of web developments and web application developments. Continuously for 4.5 years. So exclusively we worked on this particular technology on WebDrive ABAP itself. But the problem is, though we can develop a web application, these web applications are basically little heavy in size. The kind of HTML controls being used and the HTML program generating and the amount of ABAP logic you are writing. Finally, though application is becoming a web application, though it is successfully running from the browsers, but the application itself is very heavy in the amount of its size. We wanted something more lightweight. The reason is nowadays, the customer's expectations got changed. Earlier, web applications means, of course, we wanted to open from browser, maybe from your laptop or from your desktop. But now the users' wishes got changed, upgraded. They wanted to access things even from their mobile also. They wanted that application, same sales order application, to work even from their mobile also, to work from their iPad also. So if they are in office, they will use laptop. If they are in a transit, they will use some iPad. If they're at home, they will use some iPhone or Android phone, whatever it is. But still, they wanted the reachability. They wanted the applications to get accessible from their devices. Then can't I access this web application, WebDrive web application in my mobile? You can. But what will happen? Your mobile struggle a lot to open that application. That application look and feel will completely get shrunken to get adjusted into your mobile device. Sometimes that if you click on a button, posting of the data also may take very longer time because the execution, the screen rendering, basically that application is not something which is designed for mobile. That is now we wanted. So today, what is the requirement? We wanted a web application, but that web application we wanted even to run from my laptop, device compatibility, from my iPad or from my iPhone also. We wanted such an application. Can you develop? You do develop. Or shall I develop 3 different types of applications? One for laptop and one for iPad and one for very lightweight application for mobile. We can, but we need to develop again 3 different types of applications. Again, a lot of redundancy is increasing. We don't have that much of time as well. We wanted the same application, but to get open across devices seamlessly. Then what do we do? Definitely, this is multiple programs. No, not working out. BSPs gone. WebDrive applications also not the right way, not the right mechanism to be done. Exactly. That was the time HTML5 controls have been introduced into the market. This is not from SAP side. The upgrade happened in HTML5 controls. See, what is HTML? That is nothing but all the controls, all the tags, your input fields, buttons, labels, and everything. That HTML programming standards itself been upgraded to very latest simplified versions. A lot of new HTML controls also added. And the specialty of this HTML5 controls is they are more lightweight. They are developed as such. And also, those HTML controls are device compatible. So they themselves can able to adjust internally according to the device in which they are getting opened. If the same HTML program application, if you open in a laptop, it will open differently. It will internally adjust its that kind of compression, that pixeling, that stringing mechanism is inbuilt in these controls. So your application seamlessly will get opened across the devices, laptops by using these HTML5 controls. Exactly by using these HTML5 controls, there was it is an open source concept, OpenUI5. So OpenUI5 is a open source, so one of the open source platform. They developed a programming pattern by using JavaScript and HTML5 controls. And we can able to develop some very, very, very lightweight web applications. But these web applications, we can develop web applications, very lightweight web applications. That is OpenUI5. SAP has adopted that OpenUI5 standards. They added their own libraries, controls, etc., etc. And that one we are calling it SAP UI5, using which, again, you can develop web applications. But what kind of web application you can develop? You can develop only a web application. That means on screen, labels, buttons, save button, action button, close button, cancel button. Yeah, fantastic. That application is getting opened across devices. That is good. But the data has to come from where? The data has to come from my SAP tables, my MARA table, my VBAK table. So, but SAP UI5 application is not something which is done on your SAP system. This is basically developed separately outside of your SAP system. So, when outside of your SAP system, one application got prepared, one screen got prepared. So, it is a screen without data, a blank screen without any information. User can enter some data, but the data again cannot go and saved in your SAP tables. So in order to access the data from your SAP tables, but ultimately at the end, the data should go and get saved in your SAP tables. So to access the SAP tables data, like to post the data, to read the data, to update the data, what we did, we started developing some OData services. What is this? Again, OData services are another way of developing some API. These are also very lightweight mechanism, a different transition media, fastest communication. For example, you are in Bangalore, okay? You wanted to go to Delhi. How do you go? In the earlier days, what was, so how do you go from Bangalore to Delhi? When there was no option, you have to go by walk. When there is an option, then you are choosing, okay, shall I go by bus? Yeah, you can consider that to go by bus. So by going bus, it will take 2.5 days of time. But still, even you wanted to reach faster. Is there a better media available? Yes, there is a train, super fast train, and which will take you there in just only 24 hours time. No need of 2 days journey. Then let me think about that. I will choose that train option because I can reach to Delhi in next to 24 hours. Is there a better medium better than that? I will think of that. Yeah, there is a flight. So where you can reach to Delhi next to 2 hours of time. Let me pick up that. So these are all the transportation mediums. Which one do you use? Depends on the situation. What will you use? What is the right option at the right times? Will be. It's not something like always will go by flight only. So we have various interface API mechanisms available to communicate from one system to other system, to pass on the data, to transit the data from one place to other place. Those are all like your BAPIs. BAPIs are the best example, like web services. Comparatively, all of them, some fastest media, and also supports on top of HTTP protocol only, fastest media, and handles the data very in a very lightweight manner, and supports multiple data formats, and it is universally accepted standard. comparative to, so to see, if there is a transport media comes, if there is other mechanism comes to you in a few years to you, where you can reach to delay in few minutes, some hypersonic things. So where the flight will take 2 hours, but if there is something else better thing come where you can reach to delay next to 20 minutes of time instead of 2 hours, definitely you will think about that. Same way. So OData is one of the widely used protocol for exchanging the data or passing on some information from here to there. We wanted to send a courier. Earlier, we used it to send through postal office. After that, some courier services have been introduced. After that, fast courier services, Blue Dot and FedEx and other things also arrived. Whichever is the best, whichever is the latest, we will be choosing that options for getting the benefit out of it for data services. So from SAP table, on top of your SAP table, you will be developing some OData services. These OData services will be consumed. That OData services will be accessed from your SAP UEFI application. So which is already done. Finally, end user. End user is accessing that application from his laptop, from his iPad. It is a web application and nothing but one URL. Just with that URL, he can save in his favorites. He will open that application. Nice application with very beautiful controls open, and he can fill the data. When he click on save button, what is that UEFI application is doing? Whatever the data user entered, all of that data he is passing on to that particular OData service. In turn, that OData service is posting that data into your SAP tables. So like that, the OData services are created on your SAP tables, which are residing inside your SAP system. That is called backend system. SAP UI5 applications, all the SAP UI5 applications basically deployed in a different system. They use it to exist in a different system. That system we call as front end server. End user side, it is browser. End user thing we are not calling like front end. Wherever all the SAP tables and all the OData services are there, we call it like backend system. Where your SAP UI5 applications will just matter of that screen designs, all screen designs, where all UEFI applications are stored, deployed, we are calling that system as a front end server. Front end server, back end server. But do you know, physically to speak, they're both residing in the same system. Physically, it is one box only. Right now, this is your SAP S/4HANA box. In this IP address, this is my SAP system. My tables are here. My OData services are here. So this is my backend system. Then where is my UEFI applications? My UEFI applications also there, but they're all there in a different folder. So my front-end server is also the same thing. My back-end server is also the same thing. But earlier days, we used to have two different servers. But to reduce the latency and that communication gaps, SAP recommended they changed their architecture. And this is the architecture model we are following right now. And this is called embedded setup. Front-end components, back-end components, both physically installed in the same machine. But still you have to think like front-end server, back-end server. Physically, they both existed in the same box. And this concept is called embedded setup. Earlier days, a few years ago, we used to install SAP S/4HANA separately. In that SAP tables and OData will be reside. And we use it to set up another server separately with a different IP address. We use it to install all UEFI applications in that system. So physically also there are two different machines at two different IP address, backend server, front-end server. So still you have to call like that only as backend server and front-end server only. But nowadays That is the architecture we call like central hub setup. We are not following that. We are following the setup right now is embedded setup, where both reside in one system. But still, they both are two different components. Your core data services is a different component. AF applications is a different component. So like that, we started working on front-end components, back-end components together separately. So if you look at your SAP system status, if you go to your SAP system status, you can notice that. Let us go to the details. So we use it to install. If you look at this server, what is installed? So S4 HANA on-premise 2022 is installed. That is fine. Screen Persona Screen Persona version 3.0 is installed. Fine. ABAP platform is nothing but your web application server, web server, application server, ABAP platform, all of that. That is also installed. But if you see this one, S4 HANA, SAP Fiori for S4 HANA, SAP Fiori front-end server for S4 HANA, we use it to install these things in a separate IP address, in a separate physical box earlier. But now, because of the SAP recommendations, they are getting installed. Finally, what you will think, SAP backend server is also there, SAP front-end server also there in the same mission right now you are connecting to. But they are all different things and they got connected here. Because of that installation, you will get all UI5 applications also in this box. You can see those things. You can watch it from the transaction code SICF. If you go to SICF, don't use these things, are very sensitive part. These are execute. So I can go to default host, SAP. BC. All my BSP applications will be here. All my UI5 applications, BC, SAP, UI5. So what are these? These are all the hundreds of UI5 applications. Bill of material comparison, API application, all UI5 applications we can see here. From here you can activate, you can deactivate. Okay, like manage bill plans, display bill plans, prepare for billing, so etc. 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 These are all the UEFI applications. For UEFI application means you think blank screen. For this blank screen, the data has to be supplied by using one OData, the corresponding OData. That list of OData services will be there again separately in a separate path again here. We have to come to the OData path where all the OData services also will be there. So that is a separate. Now, the relevant OData services, the relevant UEFI screens working together to open that application to the front-end user. That is how we are working on. So this SAP UI5 application development is happening by using a JavaScript skill set. So developers will learn this one, JavaScript, from Business Application Studio, from WebIDE, from Visual Studio Code, from Eclipse. By using some tool, by using any of these tools, they can develop a UI5 application. But as I said before, UI5 application alone cannot make the sense. Now, one ABAP developer also will come in, because when it comes to these OData services, we need the ABAP skill. So ABAP also only can develop that. And even in RAP, what actually you are developing, your behavior definition and all these things, what is that? That is nothing but one OData service. In RAP application, at the service binding, you are choosing as a UI application. But if you choose like an API, it will produce one OData service. Exactly. That OData service later will be used by. So in your OData service, you have the business object, you have the CRUD operations, create, update, delete. It is a complete full-fledged OData service you have developed in your RAP framework. You don't think like in RAP always we are developing UI screens. No, not like that. Every time it's not the part of using annotations. Of course, you can develop, but can you develop anything you want in RAP just by using annotations? No. Annotations are just there for letting you to develop some transactional applications. All of a sudden, I want some song to play when I am running my application. I wanted some music video to scroll on my application. Any fantasy stuff I can ask team, any fantasy thing I can expect in my application. Those things I cannot achieve by using annotations. So definitely I must go and use SAP UI5 as a front-end technology because that is a freestyle coding. Anything I wanted, I can achieve that. SAP UI5 is a complete set of libraries which will let you to develop whatever you required from the application design point of view. Because that clarity, what is what, that clarity we should get. Because all these things we will club together and we will imagine that these are all things sounding the same. But we have to, now we are segregating them. We are segregating the responsibilities of every of this concept, every of these features. Now among these things, where is Fiori now? That is the question will arise. In this entire explanation, I never used a word called Fiori. I didn't use that. Then where is Fiori? What is Fiori? UI5, yes, it is a technology. It is a technology. We need to install that. We need to add that SAP UI5 libraries in Eclipse or in WebIDE so that I can design my front-end screen. OData, yes, it is there in my SAP system. So I can go to SCGW, I can create a OData service, or I can go for RAP and I can create a OData service, or I can create a CDS view, and that CDS view itself I can expose as a OData service. There are multiple ways you can generate a OData service. You can create a OData service. So we are familiar about those things. So one OData service is ready, one UEFI application is ready. My UEFI application will get the help, will call my OData service for reading the data and for posting the data back to SAP tables. Then what is SAP Fiori? So SAP Fiori is basically not a technology. Whatever UI5 applications you are developing, those are only called Fiori applications. But SAP Fiori means it is not a separate technology. It is a JavaScript. It is an ABAP script. It is Java based. It is ABAP based. No, nothing. First of all, it is not a technology. So you have nothing to do with SAP Fiori. You are not doing anything. You are not developing anything within SAP Fiori. We have module pool applications. You see there. You have module pool applications with you. You have BSP applications with you. You have WebDriver ABAP applications with you. You have SAP UI5 applications also with you. But you don't have anything called Fiori applications. It is not a separate language, separate stream to develop separate something new. This is basically a kind of user experience. So once if a UI5 application is ready, how end user will access this application? He has to enter one URL in the browser, it will come. Or there should be a transaction code. The transaction code, if we enter, that will get open in the browser. So always SAP applications launching is only, as we know, it is all a matter of transaction code. So I will go here first. I will log into my SAP system. I will go here. Then I will enter one transaction code. Depend on the transaction code I am entering here, that application maybe will get open in my SAP GUI, or it may get opened in my browser. Depend on this transaction code refers to what. It can open here, or it may open in browser. But this is very old style. We wanted to bring in some different experience to users. We wanted to provide, SAP thought of to provide some different feel to users. That time they developed this for a better user experience, and also some applications to open from SAP GUI, some applications to open from browser. Instead of that, why don't we let the user open everything from only one place? That is what earlier he said, unified access. Unified access. So I don't want to log into GUI. I don't want to log into browser. I don't want to go to different places. I wanted to open all my applications from one place itself. For that, they have developed one screen that is called Fiori Launchpad. So Launchpad means, right? In satellites, rockets, when we are saying, we call that is Launchpad, starting point. They will fire things from there. It is a launching. From there, things will get launched. It is a launchpad. So it is called Fiori Launchpad. So SAP Fiori is actually introduced along with S4HANA almost at the same time, even before that itself. In fact, to speak of, there is no relevance between S4HANA and SAP Fiori, nothing like that. Even it was there before S4HANA even launched also. The SAP Fiori is basically about giving some better user experience in terms of accessing the applications. Instead of accessing applications from different places, they wanted all SAP applications, no matter what, module pool programs, bin pros, SAP UI5 applications, all types of applications from one common place with the same look and feel, with same kind of color appearance. And also depend on the roles, whether he is a manager or whether he is a financial guy or whether he is a accountant or sales guy or inventory team. Depend on the role an employee is playing in the organization. Whatever applications only should be provided to that user, providing only those features, providing only those applications which are relevant for an employee's daily job. Okay, that is called role-based. Providing role-based and device-independent and better look and feel experience to users is the concept. Fiori 1, Fiori 2, now we are using Fiori 3.0 guidelines. So these are all about some user guidelines. So Fiori, you can Google it, Fiori 3.0 guidelines, you can type it. So SAP is framing certain rules. Hey, if you are developing a new application, all of your applications should follow blue color theming only. All of your applications should use only this type of font, so that all the applications, even you develop applications by using different technologies, but when the application is getting executed, presenting to the user, they looks seamlessly very much similar. Because of, see, if you look at Microsoft applications, different types of Microsoft applications, all the applications look and feel almost remains the same. The kind of menus, buttons, button appearance, button sizes. Similarly, Fiori 3.0 is all about certain guidelines to be followed while you are building the applications. What color themes to be followed, what patterns to be followed, what styling to be followed, etc. And all SAP applications, standard applications, today SAP is developing by using these guidelines only. So from this, how do we do that? So once we have, so we also need to install some small component in our server. It is installed there, SAP Fiori components. Okay, that one we need to install. It is already here.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
SAP Fiori for S/4HANA, some component will come. So with that, you can able to launch, you can able to start your Fiori Launchpad. So when you launch your Fiori Launchpad, it will open in your browser with one blank screen. Nothing. Now, who are you? What is your user ID? For your user ID, what are the applications I should allow you to access? I should allow you to open. So those applications I will tag in the name of roles to your user ID. Then that applications only you can open. But again, the moment when you are opening that applications, all of that applications may not be SAP UI5 applications only. Some of that applications could be WebDriver applications, some of the applications could be SAP transactional apps, but all from single place, from single access, with some kind of tile-based navigation and everything we are doing. So like that, SAP Fiori is bringing some customized user experience. It is purely talking about how we are presenting the application, but not about how we are developing the application. It is not a development technology. It is a presentation style to be used. So how do we launch that Fiori Launchpad? In your system, you can go to this T code /n/UI2/FLP Fiori Launchpad. This is the T code /n/UI2/FLP. You can type and just enter to launch the Fiori Launchpad. So you are entering into Fiori Launchpad. While entering into Fiori Launchpad, this URL you can save, and also I'm sharing my password. Exactly, this is the place the system is identifying who are you. You are a manager, you are an administrator, you are a clerk, you are an accountant. Depend on that, whatever apps that are permitted for you to run, that list of apps will automatically get loaded on your screen. Now this is my Fiori Launchpad. Even this Fiori Launchpad also getting evolved over years of time. So the very first 2015 time when I opened, the look and feel was little different. The concept remains the same. So it is giving you some quick idea, some kind of help, okay, some tips and tricks to be used when we are working on Fiori Launchpad. We can go through that, guys, how to navigate, how to adjust places and everything. If you don't want, close this one. So here it is showing that I don't have any applications for my user ID. Of course, I'm a new user. I joined the company. So for me, I did not, the administrator guy did not provide me any applications here. So whatever applications, okay, then I will tell him, hey, I'm a new team member joined in finance team. So all finance applications should come to my user ID. They will know what applications to be given. That applications only will get loaded onto my Fiori Launchpad. From here, I can start that. But how do we identify that? In SAP, There is, you just go to google.com, then you go to SAP Fiori Launchpad, not Launchpad, sorry, SAP Fiori Library. So you open Google and type SAP Fiori Library. Then you will get a link here called SAP Fiori Apps Reference Library. There, the system basically listing all SAP Fiori applications which are available in S4 HANA system or in any other system you are using. And not only that, you can also identify what are the roles to be used if you wanted to get some sort of applications. Everything, all the documentation about all Fiori apps is appearing here. Then here I can filter out whatever the applications I need. Okay, SAP Fiori apps for S4 HANA. Let me go this section. So the system, again, further I can filter out, or I can go for all apps, all the Fiori apps. There are 16,512 applications designated as Fiori applications. It is showing. Again, these are all from all versions, but you can go for further filtering. You can click on the filter icon. Suppose I wanted only Fiori applications belongs to S4 HANA 2022. Product version of my backend system I can go. So product version of backend I can go, and I wanted to see the SAP S4 HANA 2022 apps only. Let me select, click on OK, and let me go. So out of 16,000, there are only 11,000 or odd some applications will come here. 13,544 applications are available for S4 HANA 2022. For example, your customer still using S4 HANA 2020. So you can go for filtering. You wanted to see the list of apps, not for 22, but for 2020 time, what were the list of Fiori, because your customer is on this version. You can go. There were 11,559 apps available. Now, all these apps you can configure, you can use for the users when customer is on 2020 version. You can, let me go back to 2022. Not only product wise, but also among these apps, certain apps may not be compatible for mobile. If I wanted to filter out under line of business, I wanted to see, okay, S4 HANA 2022, 13,000 apps are there. So within that, let me see the apps belongs to finance module. If I filter the finance based applications only in S4 HANA 2022 about finance, it is filtering the data and let it come. There are 800 applications it is showing which belongs to finance side. Among that, you see cash flow analyzer, classify products, make bank transfers, all this kind of applications. Let me go to this app called Cash Flow Analyzer. When I click on that app, I will get some documentation about that application. So how that application looks, one small image I can get here. Okay. And what is that application doing? What I can do, bank account hierarchy, cash pool, this kind of liquidity item hierarchy. So these things I can able to check out in that application product features. And if I wanted this application right now to come to my ID, because I am also finance guy, I wanted that application here. For my user ID, I wanted this. Which application? Which application type?
Cash flow manager
Yep.
is the app.
Cash flow. So I am the finance guy, so I wanted this application for my user ID to come. Then I should go to this place, implementation information. If I wanted this application to appear for my user ID, what are the things I should execute? That documentation I can find out in the implementation information. So, but before I go there, I should choose my correct version. No, our company is not using the latest document will come, but I should refer to anyhow this product is available in 2022 also, 2020 also, 1989 S4HANA 99 also it is there. So S4HANA 1609, 1511 versions that was not there. That means this application started from S4HANA 1709. Before versions it was not there, like that. So I should use the correct version document. Then my details also will come correctly. So important SAP nodes. If there are some SAP nodes to be implemented in order to make this app work for you, that documentation will come here. But these are generic nodes only. This will come for every app. These are just you can understand from here. So these are apps, nothing to additionally to implement. Then installation. In your system, see right now you see it is clearly indicating front-end components, back-end components. What are the front-end components? What are the back-end components need to be installed in your server? Earlier, we used to do these two things in two different servers. I'm telling that point, two different physical systems. But right now, physically, both are there in single box only, single IP address only. But you have to still treat them like backend server and front-end server. So if you wanted this application to work, you should ensure that in your server, this particular software component version is installed. If this is not installed in your server, then this application will not work. That is what they are saying. So is it? Let me check whether this particular software component UI APF 170901, whether this particular component is installed in my front-end server or not. I will go to my front-end server. Right now, this is the only front-end, only back-end. I will go here, system, status, go to magnifier. So I should go to, this is installed product versions. What are all installed products? What are all the component, software component versions installed? Now in this list, look at that screen, what they asked for. UI APF 170. UI APF 170. UI APF 170901. Yep. So this component is required about all finance apps coming in this one. Is it there in your server or not? Yes, it is there. That means that application, front-end application is installed in my server. I have verified that. After that, what should I verify? In the backend system, that means in your backend S4HANA service, okay, you please ensure you installed S4HANA 2022. Yeah, of course, we installed S4HANA 2022. You should have S4 Core 107 installed. Go and check the installed components. S4 Core, yeah, S4 Core 107. Whether it is installed or not, yes, it is there. So we verified that. After that, let us go to configuration. In the configuration, they are clearly saying, hey, if you wanted this cash flow analyzer application work out for you, then you should activate this particular SAP UI5 application. They are saying there is a SAP UI5 application. This is the name of that application. Fin_flow analyze. Where is that application there in this path? /SAP/BC/UI5/SAP fin_flow analyze. So either you copy this path, SCF node, or copy this name, and we will verify whether this particular UI5 application is activated, already activated or not. If not, then that application will not work for you. So let us go back to your SAP server. I told you all UI5 applications and OData services you can find in this T code SICF. You go there, And in the service name field, you paste that name. Then click on execute. It will find out where it is. It is easy search. Yeah, that entire path you no need to go. /SAP/BC/UI5/SAP. This is the one. This is the path they mentioned in that documentation. You please verify this particular service is active or not. Sometimes some services may not default activated. So we will go there. We will right click on that and then we'll say activate service. Right now it is already activated. That's why that is not good. If you want, you can deactivate that service. If that is deactivated, what will happen in your company? You think like there are 1,000 users who are using that application. Now no one can able to access from onwards. So you can stop working that app for all users just simply by coming here and deactivate that service. If that service is deactivated, that means that application itself got off. When it is off, then no user can able to run that application on his browser. We can deactivate it. We can activate it. So it is already activated. That part is also completed. This is true for all applications. And additionally, so the star mark is giving there is another service also, which is internally part of this service to verify this UEFI application is also activated or not. It is a dependency application. So we have to verify this is also active or not. Control C, go here, come back. We just verify that the dependent application also active or not. Click on execute. Yeah, I got that path here. Right click. Yeah, that is also active. That means that applications will work for you. What is the next step to be followed? UEFI application verification is completed. See, this is all about following the documentation. Next, what is the OData service that is supplying the data to this UEFI application? See, I told you, right? Here I draw that one, right? So for all your UEFI applications, there is some OData service which is basically pushing that data, supplying the data. Finally, the both of them together, the end user is experiencing as an application. So behind what is the OData service that is created by SAP or by you, which is supplying the required data to this particular cash flow analyzer application. This is the name of that OData service. So you have to verify this OData service also activated or not. If that is not activated, you have to activate. Otherwise, application will come to user, but nothing will happen because the OData service still sleeping. It is not yet activated. How do we check? There can be multiple OData services also for a one single application. If there are 2 or 3 OData services available or required for that application, that list also will be given here. We need to go and activate all of them. If it is already activated, happy. We don't require anything exclusively to perform. If not, we will continue with the activation procedure. How do we? If there are multiple OData services, you have to activate all the OData services also. How do we do that? Let me select this, copy the name of the OData service, go to my system. So here, UI5 service I have activated by using the T code. For OData services, this is the T code you should go /n/iwfnd/main_service. This is the T code we should go for the OData service activation or registration. You can call anything. Whatever the OData services that are all already activated, that list is here. Definitely your OData might be there in one of these places if it is already activated. If not, you will be activating. How do I check that? First, I will go to filter to check out, is that service really added or not? You paste that entire service name. You put 1 star here. You put 1 star here. 2 stars. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's a button not there. Star, paste, star. Because when it is added, G also will get added. Let me search. Yeah, you see that service already in the added list. It is already added here. So I know need to do thing. In case if you don't find any filter result, then what will you do? You will click on this add service button. You will search for that service name. That name will come here. You will select that and you will click on this button, add selected services. Then your service will get added. If it is already added, you don't require to add it again. You cannot also. You can simply find out here. Very good. So the OData service also we noticed in the added, in the activated list. How did I go there? I went to filter, star, that service name, star, and search. That name will come. But it's not like every service will come there. If the result is empty, you have to manually add that service here. After that, what should I do? In the documentation, UEFI application we have activated, OData service we have activated. Then in the Fiori Launchpad, to make that application work, there is some additional documentation that just you can leave it up, guys. Come down. There are 10,000 applications. All these applications, SAP categorically are divided into some catalogs, and that particular application is part of this technical catalog, and that is part of these business catalogs. Just a catalog means it is a book. So when you go to any restaurant, they will give you one menu, one catalog that contains what is available there in that list, something like that. So catalog is a collection of relevant items, list of items. So this application is part of this technical catalog or these business catalogs. No problem. This is also just for your understanding only. That particular application is part of these business groups. Okay. So usually use it for cash operations and basic cash operations, etc. It is part of some pages, some spaces. It is all there. Believe that the most important thing is the role. This is the ultimate thing. If you wanted this application to work for you, you have to grant this role. This application is part of 2 roles, SAP BR Cash Specialist, SAP BR Cash Manager. Maybe this role I will give to only manager level people, and this role I will give to normal clerks and everybody. For everybody in the finance team, I will give this role. For manager's role, I will give this role. Anyhow, this application is available in these 2 roles. Now I can take any one of this role and I can grant that role to that user. And then user can able to see this application. Okay. And in case if I wanted to make some changes in this Fiori application, what are all the extensions possible here? Some documentation in case it is there, SAP will suggest that here. So let me assign this role, SAP BR Cash Specialist or Cash Manager. How do I grant this role to my user ID? You go to your SAP login pad. In your SAP login pad, go to the transaction code SU01, user administration. This is my user ID. Get SAP RAP _00. And all of your users also there like that. I can go to my user details. Now this is my user details. This is very sensitive data. Should be worked out. Basically in your projects, you don't do all these things. They will restrict the access to all these decodes for you. So here, let me go to roles. There are some roles already given to me for other things, so leave that. Now, I understood from the documentation, this is a role. This role contains this app. So if I wanted this app, I should grant this role to my user ID. This role already there in my S422, because you see, I'm reading the documentation of S422. So definitely I know that this role definitely will be there. This role I need to add to my user ID. But unfortunately, what is the problem? By granting this role, I can get this app, which I have cash flow analyzer. But there are some other apps also here, make bank transfers, manage licenses. There are some other apps also which are also part of this role. One role not contain one app. One role will contain many apps. Unfortunately, what will happen is because of giving this role, all the apps of that role will come to my user ID. So this role I wanted to grant to that user. But I'm getting even so many other apps also because of this role. Let me see what are all the apps are there. Copy this role in your SAP system. There is a T code for watching the roles details, right? The T code is PFCC for role maintenance, role creations and role maintenance. Enter that role name here. Let me see the details of that role. Sorry. SAP BR underscore cash manager. That particular role is coming up with, these many apps. These many apps are coming under that role. Launchpad Space, Launchpad Go, basic cash operations. They're all some groups. So this is the content of this role. What are all part of this role? And I can directly grant that role to the given user from here also. Right now, this particular role is already given to so many of these users in the system. I can add my user ID and your user IDs also in this list. You will get it. We can do from there, or we can do it from SU01 also. So go to SU01, go to my user details, go to roles. So here I'm adding that role, SAP BR Cash Manager. Enter. So I added that role will. So I can set some dates also. So only till end of this month, if I set, so that role I'm applying to the user only till this month end. After that, that role granting will expire. He cannot again access. Anyhow, that is all admin activities, not your subject. I added that role, guys. Now if I go and see the roles, from the earlier roles, you left the previously whatever was there, that is different. But this is a new role I have given to my user ID. Now let me go to browser, click on refresh of my launchpad. Now because of granting that role to my user ID, I will be getting the relevant apps because of the role permission came to me. But I went, close. I should be under my home. I'm not getting, but you see here how I am getting one group here called cash management. Why apps not coming here? Yeah, it's taking time. You see, earlier only my home was there. There is nothing here. We will see how to configure my home also. So my home is nothing but some of your most used, more frequently used applications you can bring here. How do we bring? I will show. Let us go to cash management. Under cash management, you see, approve bank transfers, my inbox, memory cards. this kind of applications and bank statements, cash visibility. Actually, this is what I wanted, cash flow analyzer. This application only I wanted, but because of this application, I got so many other applications also. That is again the problem. I don't want this particular user, my user ID, get loaded with so many of these styles. Basically, I can go to, okay, even though I got all these things, I can go to edit home page. You see, I can go to my user settings. In the user settings, I can go to edit current page. I can go there. Here, uh, I don't want my inbox, this, these applications are not part of mine. I can delete that. And in cam, if I wanted, I can get them back also. I can delete whatever I don't want to, right, from this list and click on close. Now you see my screen got cleaned up with only few applications, not with many. Earlier here I used to see 4, but now I am seeing only 2. Now among that, but I'm not sure the remaining apps also will work because we did not verify that UIFI service activated or not, OData service activated or not. We did not verify that. Until you check the details, we cannot guarantee that all these applications will work. If you click on one of this application, maybe data may not get loaded. If the data is not coming, that means the raw data service is not activated. Let me go to this app, Cash Flow Analyzer. I clicked on that. You see what actually you're finding on your screen, like boxes, like appearance. This is your Fiori Launchpad. Now this is my cash flow analyzer. Same your RAP application. Is it not looking like your RAP application? With F4 help, so search button, so filterings and go button. I can go for. Now tomorrow, if you have developed any RAP application, that one also will be configured here in your Fiori Launchpad.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
So with the available data in my system, I got the details here. So I can go because the data is coming to me, and from here I can navigate to so many other applications also. But again, we cannot guarantee that all these things will work out. We have to check the relevancy of the data activation and the service activation in the systems. Come back. See, providing the user some kind of launching experience, application management. Your user can change their order. He can bring one app here, one app here. He can change the placement. Suppose approve bank payments and cash flow analyzer. These two applications I do use very frequently. So I wanted to bring them to my home. Not only cash management, guys, so many groups. Just now we added only one. So many groups also will get loaded to your user IDs. So I wanted to bring that two apps, approve bank payments, cash flow analyzer into my home. Let us go to my home. Click on edit page. Here you can add some. So under my home, it is coming like my apps. That's okay. Add one section. One section got added. So favorites one. These are my favorite apps. So favorites one. This section I have added. Then after that, click on add tile in that section. So my apps. So what these are all the apps available right now to you. Among that, I wanted this approve bank account application. So what applications we saw? Okay, so I wanted this manage bank accounts. This one I wanted, and second thing is cash flow analyzer. I wanted cash flow analyzer. So I will choose. So these are all. See, so many apps came to me because of the role. I just added those to that role. So I selected only two of the apps to come to me. Okay, that's it. Click on back button. Now you see, and click on close button. Now you see under my home, there is a title called My Apps. You can change this title also if you want. Two of the apps, same two apps you can see here also. In the cash management also it is there. But here under my home, I just kept some apps for my easy access, easy convenience. Among the list of apps, you can again make a free search also here. And end user can change the required themes also. From here you can go to settings, and then so currently this is my user ID. He can go to appearance, and in the appearance he can change if he wanted any different theme. So right now he's finding SAP Quartz theme. This is the latest one. Earlier in Fiori 2.0 we used it to work on this theme, SAP Belize. So if I choose that, if I save it, my Fiori appearance looks different. The titles, fonting, buttons. Now SAP latest theming is SAP Quartz. So I can go to my user settings, go to settings. It is as simple as like changing your desktop wallpaper. So SAP Quartz is the latest theme. I can get it. Black and white appearance. This background image, I can put some image. Background colors I can change. Company logo, company landscapes I can put. We can create our own custom themes also for the user to apply. So earlier, we used to work with some kind of different navigation that is called groups. But recently SAP added this concept called spaces. If I remove that, if I click on save, I don't want to use a space concept. Then your Fiori Launchpad appears just a little different. Let it get loaded. You can see that. All applications are used to come like this. Cash operations, basic operations, liquidity management, bank account applications. So many groups. These are actually called groups. So many groups. In each group, some applications. But instead of that, SAP has come up with a new arrangement that is called spaces and pages. So these applications are consolidating into more easy navigation. Instead of navigating through so many groups like this. If you wanted these things to appear like that, again you go to settings. Here you have to choose this option, use spaces. Click on save. So then they're all coming into one single space. Cash management. Cash management, but you can click here. You can go to other sections also. From there also you can navigate. You can edit this page, you can change this page, etc. But again, still our problem not resolved. What is the problem? I wanted only these two apps to be given to user. Manage bank accounts and a cash plan. Only these two applications I wanted to give to this user. But why he is getting so many applications like this? Because I told you already the reason. The reason is For that user ID, I have given the entire role. Because of giving this whole role, the role consists of 100 plus applications. All the applications move on to user. So you should not actually provide this entire role. There is a procedure for that. The process is like we will copy the standard. See, that particular application, cash flow analyzer application, is part of this catalog. This catalog contains so many applications, and all of them are going to user. Instead of that, we will create our own catalog. From this standard catalog, I will copy the two apps, manage bank accounts, cash flow analyzer. Only two or three or four or five, as many as I wanted. Now I will finally create a new G-role. That G-role only I will give to user. Because of that, we can able to see only those two applications. If you wanted to do that, there is a concept called Launchpad or Designer. We have to go to that customization and we have to create some custom catalogs, custom groups, custom role, and that custom role should be given to user. I will show you quickly how do we do that, just for your understanding. Yes.
So while we checking the the OData service, we are checking that, right? So while activating, while we see that, if you open that again, I can show you. So there are the two paths available. So is there any meaning for that, or it just
Okay, I went there.
No, SEGW.
Acha, about UFI service, huh?
Yeah, UFI service, yes.
No, both remains the same. Actually, it will, when you deploy, it will get deployed as one as BSP application in ABAP flavor, and one is into pure UFI version. Both meanings the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time
because
it will generate.
Yeah, in the path, in the application, in application page, the SAP Fiori standard application where it says the path is different, but in the system there are the two paths I can see. So
yeah, two paths every time you will see. For every application, the two paths will come. One is internally. You have to pick the service path from UFI underscore UFI.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So what is the drawback we noticed is, but remember team, these are may not be UFI applications. Some WebDinter applications also could be there. SAP transactions also, even you can launch it like a Fiori tile. This is actually called one tile. When you click on that tile, that application will get open. We can configure new tiles for every tile. One SAP T code also you can tag. So when you click on that tile, that T code will directly open in your browser. Internally, it will use SAP GUI for HTML framework to convert that module pool programs into HTML flavor. So, but finally, your regular T codes also even we can access from here. Fiori Launchpad will take care of that conversion. So here I have given the whole access by giving the entire role to the user, because of which he is accessing. So he can edit his page and he can remove whatever he don't want. But there's no guarantee that he will remove on his own. And again, even though he removes, again he can bring them back as well, because you already given the access to him. But instead of that, to restrict that, so let me say only those two apps I wanted to give to the user. If you wanted, you have to go open Fiori Launchpad Designer. For that, the T code is /n/UI2 /FLP Fiori Launchpad _ customization. Enter. Okay. Bashian /UI2 /FLPD Fiori Launchpad, right? _ custom. So this is called Launchpad Designer. From here, we can copy things from standard catalogs into our own catalogs that we do use. Let me show you that. So here we will create some catalogs and groups. Let us go to catalog section first. So from the library, I understood that this cash flow analyzer application is part of this catalog. Select the catalog name. Here in the Launchpad Designer, I can enter the catalog name, press enter. Then I found here there are 195. There are 75 tiles and 120 target mappings are there in that catalog. So manage banks, cash flow comparison. These apps are now more working, absolute. Cash flow analyzer. Where is that? We can filter it out. So I wanted some of the apps from this catalog to copy it into my own catalog and get work. If you wanted to do that, no problem. First, what you have to do is you have to create your own catalog first. For that, here is a button, the plus icon at the bottom. Click on that. It is showing the option, do you want to create a catalog? Standard catalog. So let me say ZRAM _ cat1. I'm creating a new catalog. I just give a name. Save. ZRAM _ cat1 is a catalog. How many tiles are there? 0. This is just a catalog you created. Fine. Similarly, you can create one group also. Go to groups. Click on this plus icon. So ZRAM _ group 1. You can give any title you wish. So I have created one catalog and one group. Let me go back to catalogs. Now you can copy from the standard catalog. This is the standard catalog, SAP TC for finance apps. Enter. Select the catalog. You have to copy two things, tiles and the relevant target mappings for those tiles. So tile copying will just copy that tile, heading, titles and everything. But when you click on that tile, what is the relevant backend application, UI5 application or SAP transaction code it is calling, that details are there in the target mapping. So you have to copy both, tile also, target mapping also. So I wanted these two apps. I wanted to copy this manage banks. This manage banks I wanted to copy from the standard catalog into my own catalog. So select that application. At the bottom of the screen, there is a button here, you see, create reference. Click on that. I wanted to copy into this catalog. You just type the catalog. Select the catalog, copy it, file copy, manage banks, and cash flow analyzer. Cash flow analyzer. If you're not able to find, you can search it. Yeah, this one. Select the app, click on create reference, copy that into your catalog. I think I selected wrong one. Create reference. It's copied. So 2 apps I have copied. Okay, let me copy one more. Bank account balance. Click on create reference. Three apps I have copied. But only apps tiles only I have copied. I have to copy the corresponding target mapping also, because the target mapping will contain more settings about these tiles, about those 3 tiles. You have to copy those things also. Go to target mapping. So here the app name will not come. You have to identify that by the use of semantic object and action. Suppose if you go to tiles, the first app we copied is manage banks. So semantic object bank, action name, manage. So you have to identify that. Semantic object bank, action name, manage. Where is that? Bank manage. Here it is. Select that. Create reference. Copy that into your catalog. Close this. So that is one app, manage banks, and other two things are that other things are about cash flow analyzer also we copied. So go to target mapping. Cash flow analyze flow. That is the semantic object and action. So select that cash flow analyze flow. Create reference. Copy that into your catalog. And other tile also we copied. Bank transfers, bank account balance. Which one we copied? This one only, no? Bank account balance. I think this one only. Semantic object cash flow. Review cash position is the action. So you have to identify that. cash flow, review cash position. So what is this mapping? If you click on that, you can see the details. If you click on configure, you can see what is the semantic object in action, nothing but which URL, which application basically it is calling, and on the screen icon, on the screen title, is there any icon coming? That icon also we can change here. And this application is compatible for desktop, tablet, and phone or not. It is a Fiori application, or is it a WebDriver application, or is it a SAP transaction code? That details you will see here in this target mapping. That's why we are copying that one as well. Select that, click on create reference, select your catalog. So we have copied 3 tiles and the corresponding 3 target mappings into our own catalog. Let us see, is it perfectly copied or not? You go to your catalog now. In your catalog, if you see, there are 3 tiles: manage banks, cash flow analyzer, bank account balance. Bank account balance, is that one I copied here? Review cash position, analyze flow. Corresponding details only, how to copy correctly. Yeah. If you wanted these titles to be changed, you can change it. If you wanted the icons, suppose you don't want this icon. Cash flow analyzer, bank account balance, both are coming with same icons. This is your catalog, your wish. So you can go there, and it comes in edit mode. And here you can change this icon. You don't want that icon, same icon for your third app. Let us bank account balance. So let me choose this picture. I can change it. Click on save. You're not changing in the standard catalog. You copied and you are modifying that in your custom catalog. Now 3 symbols: bank symbol, analyzer, some graph symbol, account balance, some equal to symbol. I have put in like this. So 3 tiles. You can change the titles if you wanted. You can change the icons. You can change the target mappings also. Or suppose this particular application is, click on configure, is accessing this UEFI application. No, you don't want this UEFI application. You wanted to redirect it to a different UEFI application. You change the path here. You created a new RAP application. You change the path here. So it will not go to that application, but it will try to access your own application, depending on the path that is provided. Okay, my catalog created. After that, I have 3 tiles in this catalog. Among these, first 2 things I wanted to put as one group. Second thing, this balance one I wanted to keep in a separate group. If you wanted to do that, we have to go for groups. Already we created one group there, GRAM_group 1. Let me create one more group, GRAM_group 2. So group is just nothing but further splitting of applications. 3 applications in one group, 2 applications in one group, just so you can split like that. Okay. Now let us open our first group, GRAM_group 1. In your group, there are no tiles. Yeah, let me add some tiles. Click on add tile. From which catalog? All standard catalogs, everything will come. This is your catalog. The name came by default. If something else come, you can filter it out. You can choose your catalog. Your catalog contains 3 apps. Now, which of the apps you wanted to put in this group, in group 1? Suppose I wanted to put manage banks. and cash flow analyzer. Manage banks and bank account balance. Okay, these two are banks now. So these two I will put it in first group. Okay, come back. First group configured with the 2 tiles. Now let us go to group 2. Then in the second group, let it load it.
ZaranTech's SAP training delivery is a well-crafted journey. We start with a discovery call to understand your needs, followed by a tech call with a certified instructor. Our customized curriculum leads to live, interactive training sessions with hands-on labs. Access course materials through our learning management system anytime. We track your progress with detailed metrics and conclude with a fun, gamified final quiz. Upon completion, receive a verifiable certificate. With ZaranTech, your SAP training is not just comprehensive. It's engaging, practical, and tailored to your success.
Automation. Now let me do Jira. This is my second group. Now in the second group, once again click on plus icon. Then from the same catalog, I will keep this application. Only one application I am keeping in the second group. Cash flow analyzer, I am putting it in the second group. This is a logical classification to show it on the screen. Only one app I put in my second group. First group with 2 apps, second group with only 1 app. If more apps are coming on your way in your catalog after you are adding, definitely those things also you can add. So what we did here, we created a catalog. We copied some of the apps from the standard catalog into your custom catalog. Then you created 2 groups and you have arranged your apps in that 2 groups. That's it. Now these things we need to add to your user ID. Let us go to your user ID. But before you are adding, first you should create a group. First you should create a new role. How do we create a new role? Go to your SAP system. That is not from Fiori side, SAP side. PFCZ is the T code. Go there. Click on create single role. Composite roles also we can create. First you should type the role name ZROM_role1. Click on create single role. So this is a new role I'm creating. In this role, okay, my role 1. In this role, what are all the things you wanted to put? Click on menu. Whatever catalogs and groups you created, you should make them part of this role. How do we do that? Go to role. Here under transactions, click on this icon. Here, there is an option. You can add BSP applications, transaction codes, many things as part of this role. So here, go to Fiori Launchpad. Here, Launchpad catalog. You can go and you search for your catalog base. My catalog name is GROM_cat1. My catalog added. Not only catalog, I wanted to add the groups also. Fiori Launchpad group, GROM_group1. For now, you wanted to add only one group, okay? Or you wanted to add both groups, you can once again you go there, select Fiori Launchpad group. Let us add the second group also. So I have added one catalog and 2 groups in my role. Now this role I can give to my user. From here also I can give, or from anywhere else also I can. Okay, let me give from here. I wanted to give this role to my user ID. What is my user ID? ZRAM. Sorry, my user ID is ZSAP RAP underscore 00. Let me take one of your user IDs also. So who is 01? Sai, what is your number? Sri Sai.
02, sir.
Okay, I have added this role to my user ID also. As many users I wanted, I can add them. Click on save. My role got added. Now I can see these apps because of this role in my Fiori Launchpad. Go to Fiori Launchpad, your Fiori Launchpad. So let me refresh my Fiori page because I created those as groups, right? I need to change that configuration. No problem. Let me stop because if you are using this space concept to spaces and pages concept, groups will not appear here. So we can navigate from here. We have to navigate from here. Otherwise, temporarily, let me stop using that space concept. Settings, use spaces. Uncheck that. Click on save. I went to just the previous style of appearance. Because of the earlier role, the standard role, all these things came up. But because of my custom role, you see, I got two groups here. GRAM group 1, GRAM group 2. In RAM group 1, if I go, two apps. In RAM group 2, I go, one app. So these things came earlier because of the standard role, right? Now what I will do, I will go to my user administration. Sorry, by mistakenly we given standard role to you. So we have created a custom role for your ID and we granted that so that we are removing the standard role from your user. We are saying that. See, GRAM underscore role 1 already be given. So this standard role I will select and I will remove it. Click on save. So because of that change, now if I refresh my page, now you see it's not like the story before. I could not see hundreds of apps on my screen. Only two groups. Logically, I intentionally we created like that. Now, if user wanted to off them or on them also, if you go to edit page, he can just only off or on only those three apps. He does not have many more things to add on his own. He cannot add any more things on his own. He cannot modify anything. Just only one catalog only I given. In that catalog, three things are there for him. Anything he can pin, any order he can change, but only anytime he can play with only these three apps as per his wish. On the home page, he can add one of them. He can remove them like that. Click on close. But I restricted this user to work only with these three apps as arranged like this. So if I go for space concept, groups will not come here. Settings, spaces and pages. If you use the space concept, then you have to create space and you have to arrange the apps. So otherwise, you can navigate only from one of the spaces. He can launch the apps. This is how things will work in. Can you share your screen now? Let me see. You are also getting the same apps on your screen or not? Let me.
Yes, sir.
Did you open Fiori Launchpad? Open in the Chrome.
Okay.
So why are you Fiori Launchpad? So Fiori Launchpad, you can log into SAP GUI and you have to enter the T code, or else you have to use the URL.
I think I need to create again.
use the T code /n/UI2/EFLP /EFLP Fiori Launchpad. Enter. Choose the checkbox and allow.
Yes, sir. The Fiori Launchpad is open.
Yeah. Close this pop-up. So now you see under
Empty.
my home, I have now click on close. Click on close. Close icon at the bottom.
Okay.
So I already gave. Click on refresh. Your user ID is 02, right? Oh, because of spaces, it's not coming. Right. Because here also by default spaces things is there. Click on Z on your user right side icon. Go to edit. Go to settings. Then spaces and pages. Remove that use space checkbox.
Save.
So yeah. So the catalog and the groups I gave to you will appear to you. No, yeah. See, the same thing I can give to all the finance team like this only, and they can able to work only on those respective apps. But for a different person, I will create a separate catalog for managers, a separate group, separate role, and this role and that role, both I will give to manager people so they can see more apps. But these clerical employees will see only certain limited apps. Like that, we can control what can be accessed by a user from the Fiori Launchpad. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Hope today's session is interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this unmanaged coding part I will complete. I will share that. You can execute that UI annotations you can write on your own, and you can test that service completely from your end.